Alright folks, welcome to episode 7, taking on World 7. World 7's a pretty punishing world. There are not a lot of power-ups, and you can see this right in the beginning. You start off with this fire flower, so if you're small, this would be a mushroom and it would fall down. You could grab it, but if you're already big, I don't believe there's any way to get this. There's no hidden blocks that I know of that allow you to get it, so that's sort of a theme in these more difficult levels. And then the downside is, especially with the way they structure the power-ups, if you have, oh, I'm stuck down here, that's not what I wanted to do. If you have a fire flower in these levels and you get hit, you lose your power up, you become small. So it's not as if you go to Big Mario, which is what they started doing in the later games, which actually makes it a little easier, because you immediately go to Small Mario and then you get hit again and you're dead. This level also, you see tons of, oh, come on. Oh, tons of bullet bills, hammer bros, things like that. Things that sort of really make us feel like you are getting closer and closer to the end of the game. So it's harder, but also in terms of plotting, there's a fire flower up there as well, but I don't need it. And oftentimes if I go to grab it, I'll end up hitting that block and then dying. That's 7-1. And we're approaching World 7-2. 7-2's famous because it is it's the minus world, basically. So at the end of 1-2, if you're watching this, you're familiar with it. But at the end of 1-2, you instead of accessing, if you don't access the warp zone the normal way, but if you clip through the bricks, you actually blooper. You can enter the warp area before the game code has had a chance to load the destination, and if you do that, you warp to the famous minus world. And the famous minus world is actually World 7-2. So that's why this world's famous. Oh, come on, blooper. I actually have a video on my site, or on my channel, sorry, that shows... This blooper's bugging me. That shows how to get to the minus world. It's called How to Warp to the Minus World, which makes a lot of sense. It's actually not the minus world, it's blank-1, so if you look up, you can see that I am at World 7-2, but if you cover up the 7, it looks like a blank, so that's the minus world there. World 7-2 is actually pretty difficult, especially if you don't have a fire power-up. These bloopers are severely annoying, which is good. I mean, this is what it's supposed to be. It's sort of like I was saying in the previous playthrough, you know, we're getting closer and closer to the Magic Turtles stronghold, so it makes sense from a plotting perspective that we're going to be encountering more militaristic, more violent, more evil, more difficult levels, and also just in terms of game plotting. I mean, that's just the way we play games, right? That was disappointing, Mario. You should not have done that. So this does have a place where I can get big, though. The next castle, so that means I won't, because as far as I understand, there is no way in the next castle to get big. These guys fly now just to throw you off. Come on, Mario. So what I don't like about these cheap levels is that these cheaps can just hit you randomly. There we go. And there's nothing you can do. So as far as I know, there is no hidden 1-up in 7-4. That's 7-3. 7-3 is difficult. 7-4 is actually quite difficult as well, unless you know how to do it. It's in another one of these hidden castle worlds, and that makes it quite difficult. And the pattern is really difficult. You go down, middle, up, and that sends you to the next part. That one's pretty easy to actually understand. But the next one, you got to go up, and this is the way I do it. Is you go down, middle, down, middle, down, middle, and up. And then that takes you to the next part. But like, is there any hidden block here or anything like that that you can do? So Bowser sometimes starts throwing his, because I'd like to get a fire flower. I don't believe that there is anything here. So I don't think we can see who the imposter is. See, nothing. No fire, no power-ups at all. So we're just gonna damage boost past you, Bowser. See you later. Sorry, bud. No idea who the imposter is in there. I actually think it's a hammer bump. So there you go. That's World 7. Sorry we didn't get to see the imposter, but that's the entirety of it. It's a difficult level. See you next time in World 8. Thanks a lot, everybody.